Now, it may not just be the end of the road for some 20 magistrate judges who were yesterday removed from the bar for misconducting themselves. Now, the 20 face a possible 5-year jail term should the Attorney General file criminal charges against them. Now, that's the word from former Charge Commissioner Emmanuel. Speaking earlier on News Desk, Mr. Emmanuel said that dismissed judges are likely to face a prison sentence if criminal proceedings against their corrupt practices are filed by the Attorney General. Mr. Short has also been commenting on a decision by the Judicial Committee to offer end-of-service benefits to some of the dismissed magistrate judges for showing remorse.
These judges and magistrates are still open to criminal prosecution. This decision only affects their position on the bench. They have been removed from the bench, some with benefits, others without. The fact still remains that corruption is a criminal offense, and it is up to the Attorney General to decide whether, in the cases of these judges, criminal prosecutions will follow. So I think it's important to keep this in mind whilst we are discussing the issue as to whether it was appropriate for some to be removed with benefits and others without benefits. Corruption is a misdemeanor, and I think the maximum is 5 years. There have been calls for an amendment, an increase in the punishment. Generally speaking, the tribunal has a discretion in exercising in imposing a more lenient sentence. Whereas if an accused person resists and challenges the charges, then if at the end of the trial he or she is found guilty, then the tribunal would normally impose a greater sentence than what would be imposed on somebody who admitted guilt, pleaded guilty, and expressed remorse. So this is a discretion which is in the hands of the investigative body. Whether it should have been exercised in this particular case is a matter, of opinion. But there's no doubt that in criminal trials, this is the position that is taken, that if you deny the charges and if you resist the trial, you contest the matter, then if at the end of the trial you are found liable, then you expect to receive a much harsher punishment than someone who admitted guilt and expressed remorse.
Justice Emmanuel has also been speaking on the likely impact of the brouhaha on judicial corruption on the work of the 2 judges who were cleared by the committee probing the allegations of corruption.
Obviously, it's going to affect the administration of justice because now the judiciary has to find magistrates and judges who would have to take over the cases that they were handling. It's going to result in a delay of cases, quite a number of cases, which those judges and magistrates were handling. But that's inevitable. That cannot be avoided. This decision only affects their position on the bench. They have been removed from the bench, some with benefits, others without. The fact still remains that corruption is a criminal offense, and it is up to the Attorney General to decide whether, in the cases of these judges, criminal prosecutions will follow. So I think it's important to keep this in mind whilst we are discussing the issue as to whether it was appropriate for some to be removed with benefits.
Our Chief Justice Georgina Theodora Wood has, however, expressed her desire to restore confidence in the country's judiciary. She made the claim yesterday after the announcement of the suspension of some 20 magistrate judges for misconducting themselves.
On the 31st of August 2015, I received a petition from Tiger IPI dated same for the removal from office of 22 members of the lower bench on grounds of stated misbehavior pursuant to Article 151 of the 1992 Constitution. 2 of them as we have already made public, had then been elevated to the High Court as of April this year, and therefore could not be dealt with under the said Article 151. Later, Tiger IPI submitted another name, Emmanuel, to put the total number at 23. On receipt of the petition, which was accompanied by audio-visual evidence and transcripts of the alleged acts of misbehavior, an emergency meeting was held by the Judicial Council on 2nd September 2015, following which a 5-member disciplinary committee chaired by a Justice of the Supreme Court, Her Ladyship Justice Sophia Adinyira, was constituted to thoroughly investigate the allegations. The committee included 2 senior legal practitioners, a high-level government representative, a brigadier general representing the Ghana Armed Forces, and a justice of the High Court, who are all members of the Judicial Council. We assured the general public then that the outcome of the investigations would be made public and no one will be spared the appropriate sanctions where culpability is clearly established. The committee investigating the circuit court judges and district magistrates has now completed its task and submitted its findings to the Judicial Council at an emergency meeting this morning. Council has deliberated on the findings and recommendations of the committee and taken the appropriate decisions in respect of each of the circuit court judges or district magistrates involved in accordance with Article 151 of the 1992 Constitution.
Meanwhile, the Tiger IPI investigative team led by Anas has lauded the dismissal of 20 magistrates and circuit court judges indicted in the judicial corruption scandal. Lawyer for the Tiger IPI team, Kisieja Bain, in an interview on an Accra-based radio station, said Anas and his Tiger IPI are elated with the news of the suspension. The Judicial Council on Monday sacked the judges accused of taking bribes to influence judgments before their courts. The Chief Justice has also hinted that the outcome of the probe into the corruption allegations leveled against some other judges and judicial service staff will be made public soon. Now, armed military personnel have reportedly been moved to the newly constructed Tamale Assembly Hall to dispel angry youth that have besieged the facility. Hashmin Mohammed joins me on phone now with more on this, but before then, Hashmin has been speaking to one of the leaders of
Assembly, asking us to vacate the premises by the 13th of December, only for us to come out today and meet military men all over the place. They have invaded where we are sitting as an NDC youth, and we are dissatisfied, and our enquiries has revealed that it is the MC of the mayor of Tamale who is behind this. And what we only want to put out is that the party is what makes him an MC, and we are also there to serve the interests of the party, and we believe that there should have been better channels, or there should have been better way of handling this rather than the way he has handled it. He has no respect for anybody, nor any leader of the party. He does things the way he wants it. But we as a youth group is trying to put this out there to our leadership of the party and that of the government, that if nothing is done about this issue, we are not going to leave it to rest. We will make sure that the MC is put to his toes. If the party leadership fails to act on that, we are going to advise ourselves on that.
So for you, your problem is just the fact that he deployed military men instead of the police.
Good. Are we in a military administration? Are we in a military administration? or he came and we have resisted with guns and other things, that he could say that this is the time for me to bring in force. He destroyed our benches, our plastic chairs, and the logo of the president, who has made him an NC.
You're watching News Today here on Joy News Multi TV. We are taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you a lot more stories. Thanks for staying with us here on News Today. Now, the Greater Accra chairman of the ruling NDC says the suspension of some parliamentary candidates in the just-ended primaries has been put on hold. Incumbent Member of Parliament for La Dade Kotopon, Ni Amasana Mwale, who was re-elected to contest on the ticket of the party in 2016, together with Samuel Nete George, also known as Sam George, who defeated veteran MP E.T. Mensah in the Ningo Pampam primary, as well as Gloria Huze, who defeated Afrifa Yamwa Ponko in the Jesu in the Ashanti region, were all suspended for various offences. Ni Adekoka, speaking earlier on the AM show, said the move was necessary.
The argument here is that, Ashanti region were able to suspend another lady, a parliamentary candidate, right? The argument that came about was that because we have sent the matter to national, it is probably prejudicial to have taken that action, which, okay, fine. If that is the case, then the national will have to look, and that is
so how when did you send the issue to
we sent the issue
to the national?
Immediately. Today is Tuesday. We had a meeting on a Tuesday, and on the Wednesday, but apparently it went to the table of the General Secretary, and he was out of town. I'm told he was in Angola at that time, and so he didn't have privy. And also, these matters were not for public concern, because we don't know how it came to the press. The press
no, but the point is, if you have the powers to suspend, why would you want to petition the national office?
We don't petition. After you've done that, you send a report to the national. What is happening is that because a conflict resolution committee has been put in place, the assumption was that we should have waited, we should have sent that report to the conflict committee for them to resolve the issue before
which is at the national level.
Which is understandable, right? But at that particular moment of time that we were taking those decisions, we took it in our capacity as the regional executive committee, which we have powers to do so. But then, if it is brought to our attention that, look, wait a minute, a complaints committee have been put in place, so it's appropriate for you to channel your grievances or whatever, your findings to them, for them to, then it's fair enough.
Doesn't that usurp your powers then?
Oh, no. They compliments.
Let's still stay with the NDC, and some party executives of the party in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis have petitioned the president to re-nominate the former Metro Chief Executive for Sekondi Takoradi, Captain Retired Anthony Kujo. The executives at a news conference further stated that failure on the part of the president to heed to their calls is likely to affect the party in the upcoming elections. The statement by the executives come in the wake of rumors that the president is likely to nominate one Charlotte Otua Odum as the new MCE for Sekondi Takoradi.
We've been hearing some rumors out there that the Metro Chief Executive appointment will be offered to one lady in the person of Charlotte Otua Odum. And our concern, like I said earlier, is basically to appeal to the conscience of the president to reconsider Captain Anthony Kujo, for the position based on his performance as compared to that of Charlotte Otua Odum. Indeed, the president knows best, and for that matter, we don't doubt him. Whatever decision as to, the name that he mentions or call out, we will all definitely go by it. But before he mentioned the name, at least we have, the right, and it's our candid opinion that we are suggesting to him, more or less appealing to his conscience, like I said, that he should consider, despite the fact that he knows, the performance of Captain, and as well knows the capabilities of Charlotte Otua Odum.
And away from that, the establishment of a new security communication master, Kofori Azongo, has brought confusion between the military and some angry residents. According to the angry youth, the land currently being used by the military was earmarked for the establishment of a community school. Haruna Yusuf Wumpini joins me on phone now with details of this particular story. So, Haruna, tell us much more about this disturbance in Koforidua-Zongo.
Hello?
Haruna, if you can hear me, I'm saying, tell us much more about the disturbance in Koforidua-Zongo.
Yes, I can tell you that Koforidua-Zongo this morning, I was here around 8:30 to 9 o'clock thereabout, where I saw military people trying to move into the community there with police. And then all of a sudden the youth too actually came out in their numbers. Already they said they are going to prevent anyone who comes here to say he wants to put something different other than school. They will not allow that person to do that. So the military too are saying that they are here to ensure that that particular national security communication mast is mounted here. But the people too are saying that the land actually was earmarked for a school building to be put up. So all what they are telling the military and the police here is that they should leave and allow their land, because the land was earmarked for a school building to be put up, not a communication mast. So this morning the youth came out in their numbers just to tell the military and the police that they will not allow this particular communication mast to be mounted here, because they also know that the children that they are giving birth to, one day they need to be educated, they need school. So if the Zongo, some of the elders and the chiefs in the community believe that they don't need a school building, the youth, they need the school building because they know it will benefit them and it will benefit their children, and then those coming generations to come, they also enjoy. So what they are telling the military that they should do the honorable thing and leave the land. If government is coming to do such project like this, at least the entire community, the communication that government will even put through, it's not like this, whereby you call 7 chiefs at a meeting and you had a meeting with them, and later on the 7 chiefs agree that you should come and put up a communication map. That is what they disagree entirely with the chiefs and the military as well, because the military believe that it was government who directed them to come and monitor and to ensure that that particular communication map is mounted here in Koforidua. So all what they are telling them is that they should leave the land. Other than that, if the communication mast is mounted, they will go and destroy it, because they will not sleep here, they will leave and they will destroy it. That is what they are telling them.
Haruna, there were earlier reports of an altercation between the police and the angry youth. How true is this?
Yes, it's true, because the angry youth enter inside the land where the communication mast is, and then the police, the military, were even to the extent that they wanted to do the fire, but thank God that thing did not happen. So the youth went, and then they came, and then they drove them away. They came back again. They said they will not allow. But as I can tell you now, come as restore, and then the caterpillar is even on the site working, and the military are standing as well as the police, and the youth are still standing. I'm currently on the ground.
Right. Many thanks for that update. Haruna Yusuf Wumpini joining us live from the Eastern region. Now, effective January next year, every child under the school feeding program will be registered on the National Health Insurance Scheme. Now, this is to ensure the Gender Ministry can account for the exact number of children on the scheme for sustainable provision of nutritional needs. Now, this was announced by Gender Minister Nana Oyelitha at a school feeding learning event in Accra today. She said her ministry has been restructuring the school feeding program since it took over in August this year as a means of correcting all the problems making it inefficient. And Odame joins us with more on this particular. So, Hannah, tell us much more about this particular situation. Now, what more does the ministry intend to do to make the program better?
Exactly, apart from registering the children, so they have an exact amount, number of head counts that's people they are feeding, the ministry intends to also ensure that all the caterers are well paid, because when the caterers are not well paid, it transfers onto the children, because the children do not get the quality of food they need or the quantity that they need. Now, severally, Joy News has done stories from various regions across the country where the children have complained that either they were eating food without enough oil or meat or fish or chicken, it was raw. But the ministry says it's going to make sure that from hence, all nutritionists in the country are going to come together and plan the exact menu. So that if you are in the southern zone, for instance, we know that we have a lot of fish here. We won't force to continue to give you meat. They'll be able to inculcate that. For those in the savannah regions, there's a lot of millet and maize. They have the guinea fowls. At least the children will have nutritional meals. All the nutritional needs that they require will be given to them. Also, the minister said that, the caterers have been complaining they don't want the electronic payment. That is the e-switch that is being done. But the minister said, Elisa said, well, we're not going to backtrack on that. So everyone that has a problem, the caterers, they should come forth with their problems. What they are going to do is they're going to make it very efficient so that they receive their monies on time. What the caterers have been saying is because most of them are not electronically inclined, they do not understand how to use the electronic system to access their monies, even when it is paid after all the delays. But the minister said they are going to continue using the electronic system of payment, and so the caterers will have to understand that. She finally mentioned, before we go, that they are owed about 69 days. That's about 3 months. But she said they can't get all their monies that they are owed before the end of the year. What she's going to do is that they will pay as much as they can before the year ends, so they will not continue to be in debt. And finally, there's going to be a monitoring system for all caterers, the coordinators, so that they will take the numbers of these school children. Sometimes they will call them and ask them, what were you given? So that if the caterers are not using the monies well, you have no option than you be sacked and then somebody else will be brought in. So from next year, the minister is saying that we should watch out the school feeding program will be better. We're not going to have all the problems that we heard about next year with some schools even closing down because the school feeding program was not effective.
Many thanks for that update, and that was Hannah Odame with those final words there. Now, about 170,000 household sewage systems will soon be connected to the Lavender Hill fecal treatment plant. Now, the human waste collected at the plants will be converted to environmentally friendly bioproducts. This is because work on the human waste treatment plant, expected to eventually replace the popular Lavender Hill in Accra, is halfway complete. The project, among others, will generate biogas, fertilizer, and charcoal. Joining Suzemefa Ewana Matiamwa early has been interacting with the engineers on site and has come through with this report.
Work here is progressing smoothly, and engineers on site tell me by the middle of 2016, which is next year, the project should have been completed, and then you and I would say goodbye to Lavender Hill. The model fecal treatment plant will be completed in August 2016. Engineers on site tell Joy News human waste currently offloaded into the sea at Lavender Hill will be brought to the plant and processed into a much more environmentally friendly substance. Bioproducts such as biogas, fertilizer, and charcoal will be generated from the residue as well.
On the other side, we have water, clean water. It's not drinking water, but it's water that can be used for irrigation or for other industrial uses.
Haida Saeed is manager of Sewage Systems Ghana Limited, the company undertaking the project.
Very soon, almost 170,000 households will be connected to these sewage plants. Besides that, this specific side of the project that caters to septic, there is enough septic trucks that can come and offload for us to treat the wastewater. Once we start realizing the full potential of the project, maybe we can provide subsidy to the truck drivers. When they bring the septic sewage to our plant here, instead of paying money, maybe we can get to a stage where we pay them a certain amount of money. This will encourage them even to bring from other areas outside the greater or outside Accra Accra Township.
2,000 cubic meter feet of waste will be processed daily. The biogas generated from the process will first of all be used to power the plant, and the excess connected to the national grid to augment power supply. In the long term, the project manager, Haida Said, is optimistic the plant will provide jobs for the local people.
We will have close to probably 100 jobs.